We ready? Hey, Glens family. I just want to introduce myself. My name's Luis, the 08s Clover's Black Coach. I'm here with my good friend, Jazmín Aguas, and my cousin, Coach Jorge Calderon. And I want to introduce you a good friend of mine. She's from Escondido down here in San Diego. But you guys know her. She played for City College, Sacred Heart. She now plays for Monterrey, Rayadas, where they just won the championship there. And I just want to introduce you guys. So here, Jazmín, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, nice to meet you guys. My name's Jazmín Aguas, from San Diego. I currently play for Monterrey, Rayadas. It's a professional women's league down in Mexico. I'm 26 years old, and I'm a midfield / forward, anything attacking. But yeah, I'm excited to be here with you guys, and thank you guys for having me. And I look forward to answering some of your guys' questions.
Nice. George, did you want to say anything before I get started?
I'll just thank you for taking the time to talk to the girls and whoever's out there. But really appreciate your time.
All right. So Wes, I want to kind of ask you kind of a general question, a little bit about your youth. Where did you grow up? Obviously, you grew up in Escondido, San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
What made you play soccer or sports in general? Did you play any other sports? How did you get into soccer?
Well, I have two older brothers, and pretty much I think it's always that fantasy of, younger sister. You see your older brothers, you think it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Do whatever they're doing. So yeah, I grew up playing here locally in Escondido. And I still remember back in the days, like my brothers, they were really good, and my dad coached them and he trained their team for a while. So my dad would be like, all right, you're coming to practice with us. And he's like, all right, just go behind the line, follow whatever they're doing. So yeah, I started picking up soccer because of my family, my dad and my brothers. I played local, and then I got scouted by this guy, his name's Gilberto, actually. He's like, hey, would you like to come try out for a club team? And I knew about club teams, but yeah. I was like, oh, it's exciting. So yeah, I got invited to come out to this club team. It's called La Jolla Nomads, which is one of the biggest clubs here in San Diego, and one of the most well known. And yeah, there I go, and there I go, get my full ride. Luckily I was pretty good, and yeah, I got lucky to get a full ride, and then that's where my club soccer history started.
So you played for Nomads. Did you ever what age group did you start at? Did you start from micro? Did you start at U15s? What's your?
So I started playing locally probably around when I was I want to say 5 or 6.
Okay.
At first I really wasn't that good. I really wasn't. I would get out during the games and go grab a juice box or something. Yeah, I was just young. And then I started club soccer around when I was U10s. So kind of, but throughout those that 5-year period between I was 5 and 10, I would play with my brothers and other boys teams locally. Yeah. So yeah, I always kind of got that comment oh, you play like a guy. And I was like, oh, well, I grew up playing with guys. And then yeah, I just kind of branched out from there.
So would you say your brothers were your role models, or?
Oh yeah, completely.
Who were your role models, and what motivated you?
Definitely my brothers, my dad. Like I said, my brothers were really good. They got to go play second division out in Mexico, and then my dad, he was one of the best keepers here in San Diego. So, he always kind of wanted one of his kids to go out and play professional first division. Yeah. And he was so he dedicated so much time driving us to practice 45 minutes and stuff. And I would train Monday, Wednesday, and my brother would train Tuesday, Thursday, and he would drive 45 minutes just to take us. So I always told him, Dad, it's gonna be me that's gonna make it. Just watch, and his sons, they never did their first division debut, but fortunately I was able to make that happen. So that's always been a motivation for me, like my dad, and just, making the family proud.
Nice. So like when you were young and training in Nomads, did you only do the sessions that were required by your coach, or did you explore outside, like your own sessions, kick the ball around with friends? Like, how did you become that extra player, or how'd you get that much better than everyone else?
Well, yeah, like, I would do my trainings with them, but like I said, like even then, like if I was playing club soccer, I still played with guys like outside of that, with my dad's team, and stuff like that. He had some younger kids who were like with an academy of Atlas, like in
Yeah.
Escondido. So like those kids were really good, and he just threw me in there, wherever it was, playing out in Vista, Oceanside, and so I always played like double. I trained with him, and I trained with my club. So I think that's what really helped me, like, like not get stuck, at a certain level. The fact
Yeah.
that like I was always like competing, and like, I guess playing with guys is different. It's a big challenge. So, I think that always helped me like continue to keep growing throughout, my my soccer experience.
Yeah. Did you ever explore like playing with older teams, like for example, say you were a U11, would you ever play with like U13 club, U14 club, and how did that help you out?
Yeah, I actually did get to experience that. I with my like, after like Nomads, I went to another club team. It was called Rancho Santa Fe Attack, and their older team would invite me to play with them and stuff. And honestly, like it was a privilege because, you are playing, like I said, like it's that challenge, of playing with older people, because I believe that as you get older in soccer, you do get smarter, you do get wiser, you do get faster, stronger, so that came really into play, even high school as well.
Yeah.
I got to experience that, like being like a freshman or sophomore playing with varsity. You always like competing with older people and playing with older people. So that definitely, like, I would definitely recommend it. It definitely helps you and pushes you to, look for more and, push yourself to be better. And, there's a lot of aspects in soccer that you really do need to be a better player or the best player on the field.
Yeah, nice. And so when you played for Nomads, then you played for, what was the other club?
Rancho Santa Fe Attack.
Rancho Santa Fe Attack. So you started getting older. What high school? What was that like? Did you get scouted by like national team or anything like that, or when did that start happening? And what happened in high school?
Okay, in high school, it's a funny story. I grew up like, in Escondido, as I previously mentioned, and I used to go to this high school. It's called Orange Glen, and they weren't the best team, like soccer wise. They didn't really compete much. There was not a lot of club players, so we had a crosstown high school. It was like named San Pascual High School, and there it was like all the club players and all the like, just girls that played competitive soccer. So I remember I told my parents, I was like, I want to go to that school. They're like, oh, like, what about your friends? I was like, I don't care. Like, I just want to play for a school that's good,
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. We ended up moving like houses. We ended up moving houses just so I could like be within the district of that high school so I can go and play there. So yeah, I started there my sophomore year, and it was a great experience. Just definitely completely different level of soccer over there. So and I'm thankful I was able to make, those decisions as a young age.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's kind of get to your college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So were you getting scouted by a bunch of D1 schools? Like how was that process? And
so yeah, like, with the whole college and stuff, I was getting a lot of like schools that were like looking for me and stuff. When I played with San Diego Surf, that was like towards my end of my, like when I was like 16, 17, when you're starting to prepare to go to college. My team was actually ranked #1 in the nation.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were ranked. They won like ECNL, so they were the best of the best in the nation. And like I got a lot of like opportunities there. Like a lot of universities were looking at me, and I got a lot of offers. Unfortunately, like, and this is something I will always regret. I wasn't the best student. like to me, all it was soccer and everything. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that was like everything for me. So, you know, I think that's where, like, you know, like I said, I regret that because I could have easily, you know, gone to a D1 school, a D2 school with, you know, with full ride, or, you know, like maybe another kind of scholarship or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, you know, that's definitely something that I didn't take advantage of. And, you know, that's something I definitely look forward to talking to you guys, like, to the girls about after,
Yeah.
because I think that's a lesson that I learned, you know, and I definitely want to pass on that message that, you know, school is so important. And, you know, it's, you know, you just got to take advantage of the opportunities you get. And that's definitely something I look back on all the time.
Yeah. So here's a question by one of our
Mm-hmm.
students, or our players. You know, what age group did you want to go pro? Like, when did you know, hey, pro, or, you know, almost like nothing, you know, kind of thing? Like, when did you know when you wanted to go?
Ever since I was little, like probably like around like 7 or 8, I believe, like my brothers would play club soccer, so my dad would always take me to like their tournaments. And I remember seeing this like jersey. It was Mia Hamm jersey, and I wanted it so bad. I told my dad, I was like, "Can you please buy it? Like, you know, like I'll train every day. Like I'll get up early in the morning, do what I gotta do." So ever since then, like seeing her play, you know, like I knew I wanted to become professional. That's since an early age. Yeah.
And so, like, you know, schooling was, you know, not your greatest, you know. So what path did you take to make it to your pros?
So the path I took, so since I wasn't able to, like, you know, go directly into university, I did take on the other route, which is go and play at a community college. And, you know, what actually had happened, there was like a national team tryout at Cerritos College up in LA. So, you know, I went out there, got scouted by the national team, but I also ended up getting scouted by the college there. And so, yeah, I was fortunate enough to get both those opportunities and stuff. And yeah, like Cerritos College picked me up. Greatest experience of my life there. We got to back, like, so my first year we won state and national champs. My second year is when I transferred to City College up in San Fran. Then I came back like the year after, and we won state again. But overall, the school won like 5 or 6 back-to-back state champs. So, you know, that's definitely like the best thing that could have happened to me. And yeah, you know, it kept me playing. It kept me like active, you know, even after high school and club soccer. And yeah, like, you know, from there, just the national team is what, you know, they kept in touch with me, you know, after that tryout, and they kept an eye on me. And yeah, that's where I got picked up again to go.
Nice. So you played in U20, the Mexican national team?
I did.
And then, so because we have a lot of players that are Irish descent, or from you know, what made you go to the Mexican national team rather than staying here at home and playing for the United States national team?
So it all goes back to like, I feel like it all goes back to like the school part.
Yeah.
I feel like in order to like get looked at by the US, you need to like either attend like the best like universities, the best schools, you know. And I feel like with Mexico, they kind of gave me more of like an opportunity. Since I wasn't able to attend, you know, some of the best universities, they did open the doors for me. You know, they do a lot of local scouting, so that definitely gave me that, you know, opportunity. And you know, I love that, you know, the country my parents were born in. I love Mexico, and you know, I definitely don't regret it. But yeah, I definitely would have loved to play for the US. You know.
No, that's cool. So let's see. So your first pro team club, was it the Xolas de Tijuana, or?
Yes. So we had so Xolas existed prior to like the Mexico League. So yeah, we got to play in like all around Mexico, and using the club's name. And we got to travel to Spain, play against some teams up in Spain, like Levante, Sevilla, and Atletico Madrid, you know, so one of the bigger names. And so that was an amazing experience.
Nice. And so, like, your years as a pro U20 Mexican team, did you play against any any of the U.S. players that are now kind of on the nationals? Who did you play against? Is that?
Yes. So I got to play against Lindsay Horan. I remember playing against her. It was in a pre-World Cup qualifiers, in the World Cup qualifiers up in like Cayman Islands. So yeah, I got to play against her. You know, amazing athlete. So yeah, very fortunate to share the field with her.
Nice, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Let me see if I can get you another player question.
Okay.
So how many times do you practice a week?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, definitely. It takes a lot to stay to stay in shape. So you definitely gotta just train every day. Literally, that's my job.
So like with your club team, do you practice every day, or is it like 3 days a week for pro, and then you go on your own? And how's that, or what's kind of the schedule?
So yeah, our schedule just depending if we have away games, or if it's a home game. But for the most part, we have a home game. We train Monday through Sunday, so it's every day. And then that coming Monday, we play. So then usually we just take like a Tuesday off. So we don't really have much time off. But yeah, we train every day. Yeah, and it's like where I play. Our training field's like about like half an hour away. So we leave around 2, and then we don't get home till like about like 8 o'clock. So it's like an all day thing. So we train for like 2 hours. And then,
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna bring it back a little bit to your days in San Francisco. So you said you played for Skyline College, and I know you coached for Sacred Heart High School. Okay, so one of the player questions is, as a coach, what did you look for in a player? Did you always look for the best player, or what did you look for?
I think like the purpose as a coach is always to just see what you can help them improve, and I think when I was over there, that's one thing that I mainly focus on. And just like I think for players it's easier to like find a connection with a younger person, so I had that opportunity, and I had that advantage that like they were like the players were like excited because that's the time when I was playing with the national team. So they wanted to learn a lot of things from me. So it was, that's one thing that I always looked for, wanting to help them. And whatever they asked me, like, oh, like I need to work on my left foot. Okay, let's work on that, and just different things, that you always want to look to improve. So I always wanted to help them any way I could help them. Like, all right, well, let's do this drill to work on this certain like thing, So yeah, definitely always look to help them improve.
Nice. So we might see you as a SF Glens coach in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind going back to the city.
Nice. So like, here's a question that just came in. What was one of your biggest struggles you overcame in your soccer career, and how did you persevere?
One of the biggest things I think would always be injuries. I got a couple injuries. I have weak ankles, so fortunately, like that kind of like backtracked me a little bit. When I was with the national team with the U20, we had like a month like prior to our World Cup, and I blew out my ankle, so I wasn't able to participate in the World Cup. So I had to miss out, and that's kind of something that's always stuck. And I had my good share of like injuries. So that's definitely been one of the things to overcome. It takes time, and it takes a lot of dedication to get back from an injury.
Nice. All right, so now I want to kind of talk about what's now. So you play for the Rayadas de Monterrey. How did that happen? And because did you take time off or in between?
Yeah. So I always like after college, I just kind of stayed around here, like in LA. Like I played locally, like the WPSL, and just local like leagues and stuff. But I always wanted to like compete, so I would drive every weekend you know, from San Diego all the way to LA just to get that competitiveness because there wasn't many like leagues here in San Diego.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like after that, like that's kind of what I would do, just go to LA and go compete over there to just at least try to keep competing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the Monterrey opportunity, it came across actually, like thankful to like the national team. I got a random message, like the league had just opened up for Mexican Americans, and
Yeah.
you know, I had a lot of like, I had some teams like, you know, call me, hey, like, you know, we'd be interested, you know, for you to come out. Because like once you're like in the national team, kind of like a lot of people like, they're like, oh, like they know like the players, you know, it kind of stays in the system, and you know,
Yeah.
so yeah, you know, I got that call, and you know, the director came over here to Escondido, talked to me, and I was like, oh, like Monterrey, they've been in like 2 finals. They've always been in the top like 3 or 4 teams in the league. So like, you know, that definitely interested me. So yeah, it's been an exciting journey so far.
So how's your experience with, you know, from the beginning of the season to winning the championship of the first women's league?
It was definitely a roller coaster. It's definitely hard. You know, I think everyone thinks it's just like, you know, beautiful. You're living your dream, but a lot of things do come with it.
Yeah.
First of all, like, you know, you're leaving home. You're leaving what you know, like your parents, your family, your friends. You know, so it was really hard to like adapt in that aspect.
Yeah.
You know, I think the soccer in the U.S. is very different to the one in Mexico. It's different
Yeah.
style, and they noticed it. So that's one thing, like, you know, that we did struggle with, like me and my roommates. Another thing was like the culture that we did struggle with as well. Like, you know, like we're certain, like, you know, ways, and you know, over there like people are other ways. So yeah, there's a lot of controversy there, but I think it's just like anywhere. I think any professional athlete, I think they experience that, you know,
Yeah.
always going to go live in another country, meeting new people. So yeah, I think it's just like just about like, you know, sticking through it, being strong.
Yeah.
You're reminding yourself that, you know, this is what you love, and you know that it's worth it, and working hard every day, because at the end of the day, like, you know, you're there to play. If you love it,
Yeah.
then you're gonna make the best of it no matter what, and no one's gonna stop you.
So let me ask you a question. So you played, I know you as a striker, so you played, you know, you're the goal scorer. So when you play for your new club, Monterrey, they put you in the wing.
Yeah.
You know, did that motivate you more or less? Or because as a coach, I have some players that, hey, maybe they don't want to play midfield, they want to stay as striker. You know, did it benefit you to, you know, put in the right, or, you know, what can you say about that?
So at first, you know, it's definitely hard, because you know, I think like, you know, throughout my whole life, like I was used to kind of playing like one position, you know, or at least stay in the middle. So I wasn't really used to playing out wide. But you know, the coach, he trusted me, you know, and you know, he definitely put that on me, and I made the best I could out of it. You know, I think when you're out there in the pros, like the only thing you want to do is play. And no matter what position it is, you know, you're not always going to get what you want. Sometimes, you know, like someone's vision is completely different from what, you know, what you'd like it to be. So at the end of the day, like, you know, he was my coach. You know, the directors, they thought I would be best to play on the wing. So I had to adapt. I had to learn. I had to, you know, it was definitely hard. It's definitely been hard, as it is. Like just stepping out there, playing in front of people, it's nerve-wracking. So to go out and step in a position that I've really haven't just played, you know, for a long time, it's definitely tough. But it definitely like changes my mentality now. It makes me just like appreciate everything, you know, more. And it just makes me like, you know what, this is what it's about. You know, when you play professional, like, you know, just you're gonna get moved around for whatever like coach benefit sees, and you have to learn to adapt. You have to.
So it happens from the youth level all the way to pros.
Oh yeah.
Different positions.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
Open your mind. So like, you obviously we have a highlight of you scoring a goal.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was the first goal you've ever scored as a pro with that team, but how was that like?
Yeah,
You know,
that was actually the first goal. It was exciting. Like I said, I was just so nervous, and like every game I would be so nervous. So like just to finally like, you know, get that out of the way, it was just like the best feeling ever.
You were nervous?
Yeah.
You played with so many good teams, best team in the state, and
Yeah.
still nervous?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely nerve-wracking. I think my team is just like, we're very competitive, my team. So there's a lot of pressure, you know, from coaches, our directors, and our team overall. So like, yeah, like it was very nerve-wracking. You know, like they don't know who, you know, how you play. They don't know where you've played. You know, they don't know how to. You know, they were barely like getting to know me. And like, you know, every opportunity I got, like at first, like I would start playing like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I would just go from there. You know, just get more time as it goes. So yeah, you know, they were, you know, I had to adapt. Like it was pretty much me adapting to my team for the most part. So yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking no matter what, you know, just overall the experience, like people are watching.
So let me ask you about kind of, you know, in Mexico they have a tournament kind of. Is it like, it's not like whoever has the most points wins the league? You guys have like a semifinals, quarterfinals, so playoffs in a sense. So how was that like for your team and yourself, and you know?
It was definitely very hard because, you know, we were first place throughout the whole season. Like this past season that we won our championship, we were first place. So like, you know, we were the team to beat. So every team was just coming hard on us. Like, so yeah, it was definitely hard, like, you know, to keep it. But I genuinely think that we were the hardest working team on like throughout the league, because every training was 150%, every training. And you know, I think that whole like, even going like just from like, you know, regular season into playoffs, it was, you know, you feel that, like you start to feel like that pressure, you know, like if you lose, like luckily it was like a home and an away. So every time we would always come back and have like the home advantage, you know, like it's a huge advantage always playing in your home field. So we always had that, you know, because we placed first. So that's like, you know, the big thing about getting first place. Like you get to play like all the games at your home. And so, like the last games.
So this is a question from I believe Lucia. What did you do to push yourself to work even harder? So when you know, were playing only 10 minutes in the beginning to starting, you know, what did you do to work hard? What motivated you? What, you know, what pushed you?
So yeah, like you know, like I think what motivated me was the fact that I just wanted to be on the field. Like I knew that if I didn't get time on the field, I was not gonna get to like loosen up and be the player that I know I am. So I knew I had to do whatever I had to do to just, you know, work hard at practice, you know, go run in the mornings, you know, take care of myself, like, you know, diet wise and stuff. Like I had to do everything, like, you know, and adapt, like, you know, everything my coach told me, you know, I had to listen to him, because at the end of the day, like he was the one who put like the starting lineup, you know, the starting 11. So everything he would tell me, like, all right, you know, like I'm gonna do what he wants, and if he thinks that's the best, then I gotta work hard, you know, and I gotta work hard in order to give him that, you know, perform the best that I can. So I think it was just that. Yeah, I think it was just that, you know, just the fact that like I knew that I wasn't gonna, like, you know, in the pros you have to play in order to, like, you know, get comfortable and just get more confident. You have to play. So I think that was it. Like I was like, I know I can play more, so I need to work harder, you know, if I want to get more playing time.
Nice. So let me I have a few questions from some of the players that are listening. So here's from Maya Payne. What is your favorite thing about soccer, maybe as a pro or in youth? And what was your favorite moment?
My favorite thing about soccer is winning. Definitely winning. Yeah, definitely. You know, it's also just the people you get to meet. I've gotten to play in different, like, different teams, different, countries. So I've been able to, like, have friends all over the world and stuff. So I think that's the most beautiful thing, that it's a sport that unites a lot of people. The best, like, was it favorite moment? Was that the
Favorite
question?
moment? Yeah.
Oh, definitely winning the championship. That was just definitely, like, the best feeling ever. It was definitely a hard final. The team we played, is our crosstown rival. So it
Oh
was
man.
definitely a hard game. I just know that everyone left everything out on the field, and the fact that, like, we had already lost 2 previous finals to that same team, like our crosstown rivals, in our home, like, stadium. So the fact that, finally, we win our 3rd game in our stadium with our people and just be able to celebrate it, that's the best thing ever. Definitely.
So another question. This is from Bryce. How many positions do you play, and what positions do you play?
I play overall, like, I've played, like, attacking mid, forward, left and right winger. And yeah, that's pretty much what I play with my club team now as well. So, I'll get switched off from, like, winger, to attacking mid. So, like I said, you just always got to be prepared for whatever, you get thrown in.
Here's another question. This is from Simone Becker. What was your favorite team to play on out of everyone you played in?
My favorite team, it definitely has to be one of my semi-pro teams from LA. Their name's Elite Soccer Club, and I think the best thing was that, like, I have, like, my best friends on that team. They all, like, played, like, college or competitive players. So yeah, we got to share the field, and it's, that chemistry that you have, just knowing that, what, like, I have my teammates back, they have mine, like, that's definitely like, it makes a huge difference. So it's definitely the best team that I played on, that I've enjoyed the most as well.
All right, here's one from Amy Lopez. What's been a big surprise you've encountered being in La Liga Femenil you didn't expect? I don't know how to say it.
Okay. The biggest surprise. I think that's a hard one. The biggest surprise, I think, would have to be probably probably winning the championship.
Yeah.
I think that was just definitely, like, the biggest surprise. Like I said, I knew we were the hardest working team, but the other team who beat us, like, they didn't just beat us for any reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just just to like live that experience. I think that was just, like, something I would have liked to, I wanted to experience, but I didn't know I was gonna experience it. So yeah, I think that was, like, a big surprise. I was like, oh, heck yeah, like, I'm here.
Nah.
Yeah.
Here's a question from Madonna. Did Jazmin get her degree?
Oh, so no, I actually did not. I have a few classes left, so that's what I'm saying, guys. You got to stay in school.
You're gonna go back now?
I would love to. Yes, definitely.
Nice. Here's one from Cora. Can you give us some advice to get better?
Yeah, definitely. So some advice to get better is just, always just look to, like, push yourself. Personally, like, what I did when I was younger, like I, like, switched off from, like, a lot of club teams, and every club team that I, like, would join, like, the next, like, team, I would make sure, like, they were, like, competing at a higher level.
Yeah.
So, like, I know for a lot of people it is hard to, like, leave their friends and stuff, but I wasn't afraid to do that. Like, I knew if I wanted to be better, get better, I had to compete, look for more. So yeah, I think that's always important, just to, like, challenge yourself, whether it's, like, like, with your team, you know, like, or ask your coach, you know, hey, like, what can I do to get better? You know, and also like the trainings aside, like I did a lot of like, I worked with my trainer as well. And, you know, he helped me to get better as well. So just putting in that extra work definitely comes in handy, you know, like they say, hard work pays off. So, you know, just always look to challenge yourself, you know, just even in games. Like I remember I would personally go ahead and be like, all right, like, you know, like this half I didn't have like as many shots. So, you know, next half I'm going to go ahead and be like, all right, like I'm going to get 10 shots on goal, you know, at least, you know, and
Yeah.
just, I would always set goals for myself in games. But yeah, that's kind of how I would challenge myself and just push myself.
So when you talk about pushing yourself, you know, say it's the summertime, it's off season, do you go on and just hang out, go to the beach, or do you still train in the summertime, and what's that like for you?
I would always just stay like in shape. That's priority. You know, I believe it's like it takes only a few days to lose any kind of muscle, you know, any kind of like fitness conditioning. It's so easy to lose it, and it's so like, you know, it's so hard to gain it. So I would just say like, you know, you're only continue to get better, you know, just keep working, because you don't want to get stuck at the end of summer starting from the beginning again, you know, like having to start all over, try to get in shape again, you know?
Yeah, nice. Here's another question from Rose. What time do you wake up to train?
So usually I was waking up around like 7:30, but yeah, these past days I decided to change it up a bit and just get up at like 4:30 a.m. and just go for a nice little run, you know, just something to start the day. And then that way in the afternoon, right now, like I can just go ahead and train soccer.
Mm.
Mhm.
Here's a question from Hazel.
Mhm.
Where do you travel for soccer? So I'm going to kind of ask it. Where's your favorite place you've traveled to play soccer?
I believe it's I would want to say the Cayman Islands. I think that was a fun place. We did the qualifiers, so it was just very exciting, you know, like we actually made it to the finals and got to play against the US. So, and I think that whole experience was awesome. It was a good time.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's Amaya, a question. Can you do your celebration dance? Or do you have one?
Yeah, it was when I first scored my goal, it was like a cumbia dance, you know. So
Okay.
yeah. Should I do?
That's it. I want to see it. I want to see
You
it.
want to see it?
Let's see if.
All right. Let me go ahead and set the phone down. Hopefully. Something quick.
That's pretty.
That was a
That's
little
pretty
preview,
good.
sneak preview.
So you run to the flag, and then that's your partner, huh? That's
Yeah,
pretty
definitely that's the dance move, you know.
nice. That's cool. Let's see. Trying to scroll through these questions because we got like 70 of them.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get everyone's question before we run out of time.
No worries.
Let's see. What do you do in your free time?
On my free time, I like to go hang out at the beach with my friends, you know, family, bonfires. I like to dance. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, I like to go on hikes.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see. And then do you have any kind of inspirational kind of words for the club, for the girls that are, you know, playing at the highest level, and just, you know, are maybe in, I don't know, anything inspirational that you can give to the players and that helped you out?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, you always gotta look to improve. You know, I truly believe that, you know, like, and I think that this like, you know, phrase, it goes as far as you want to take it, but you know, I always took it in a good way. Like, you know, there's always someone out there working harder than you are. So,
Yeah.
you know, you always gotta just think about that. Like, you know what, like just as much as you want to have that starting position, just as much as you want to like outrun those players or, you know, be able to like do more one-on-ones or score more goals, like you got to remember that, you know, you always have to, you know, work, you know, continue to work and continue to get better. You know, there's always room for improvement. I genuinely believe in that. And just like I personally know you guys as coaches, and, you know, I would just encourage everyone to like ask, like, you know, ask for help, to ask your coaches, you know, your mentors, anyone that you're working with, like, hey, what can I work on? You know, because there's always room for improvement. You know, you can be the best, you know, in your league, but then, you know, you can be the best in high school, but then you go play college level and it's a completely different like level, you know, you're playing against older girls. So you always got to prepare yourself, you know, and I would just encourage, you know, the girls to just not be afraid to like ask for help, you know, and just always like I said, just work hard. You know, there's always room for improvement. That's for sure. That I would think that's the best thing I can tell them, that there's just always room for improvement. So never, just don't settle, you know, just always keep pushing yourself.
Nice. That's inspiring.
I have a question for you, Jazmin.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you prepare for a final? Like, not necessarily just the Liga MX final, just finals throughout your whole like career, even through the youth side. Like, how do you prepare for that?
So I like personally, like I would just make sure that I'm going into my final like the best shape possible, you know, if it means like, you know, that's personally what I would do, you know, like I know like I have a final coming up in a few weeks or a couple of days, like I would just, you know, like work like extra hard, like so I can feel like, you know, like faster stuff. So I would always just, you know, make sure I get good training like the days prior, and like the last 2 days, you know, I would take it easy because, you know, like I want to take care of myself as well. Definitely like eating, you know, definitely got to take care of yourself, you know, like you don't want to like, you know, overdo it. You don't want to, you know, you want to feel the best possible. So I think that's one thing that I would do. Like the fitness, the diet, and also just make sure that like I'm mentally clear from a lot of like, you know, things outside, like that I'm not distracted, that I'm just like, you know, focus on my game, you know, in that final. So I make sure that I don't have any distractions outside of that, and just know that this is the only thing on my mind, the only thing I'm excited for, and like say like, all right, like, you know, like I need to work on my penalty kicks or my shots. Like I would dedicate my time to that, to go into the final as confident, as fit as possible, and just with the best, you know, mentality as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I don't have any more questions. George, do you have any more?
Go ahead, Ryan.
I saw a couple of other ones that were in the Q&A. If you want to get from Jazmin, how does your game? This one comes from Eugene Rupinski. How does your game day routine differ when you're on the road as opposed to when you're at home?
It's very different. Like especially with the team I am right now. So usually like when we travel like Saturday nights, so we'd be ready to go play by Monday night. And we travel long hours like in a bus, so you know, it's so different because at least when we're home, like we're able to like, you know, we're able to train like the 2 days prior to our game. So, you know, we're able to just work on like, you know, perfecting certain things, you know, as a team and as individuals and stuff. But when we go into a game that's, you know, it's an away game and we travel, like we got to make sure that it's full on recovery mode, like those 2 days prior to the game. It's full on recovery. We do a little bit of activation of the muscles and stuff. And that's pretty much it. Just make sure we eat, drink a lot of water, and that we get good sleep, because it was a long road, like, you know, a long day on the road. So we make sure we get the best recovery possible.
Here's another one from Ilani Montano from our 2009 girls. Do you have a favorite way to, I guess she's asking, do you have a favorite drill you like to practice, and how often do you train? And I think you said earlier every day.
Yeah. So one thing that, like, my favorite drill, or, you know, things that I like to work on, I like to work on like explosiveness a lot. So I have like my set of like training equipment, and I work a lot with my hurdles actually. So I do a lot of like, like bunny hops, just one leg hops, and just I try to work on that, like just working on the power off my legs. So, at the time, like, my position currently, it requires a lot of like quick sprints, short sprints or long sprints, So like I definitely work on that a lot, and I enjoy it. I actually enjoy it. Like, I think, like I said, there's always room for improvement. So I was, yeah.
It ties in with another question from Madonna from our 09s. She asked, do you have a favorite move? I don't know, if maybe like step over. Or
Yeah.
Anything that comes to mind when you got to get by that defender.
Yeah. So I actually got to do one. I think it was in the video. It was like an L drag. And yeah, I've done it a couple of times, and it's definitely it's definitely a hip breaker. So yeah, that was definitely a fun move. Yeah, that's gotta be my favorite move.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the promo video that we put out on social media, like right off the bat, you guys got to check it out. She just literally just embarrasses.
Yeah.
Let's see, a couple more. I know we're getting short on time. Scott Love has one. What was the most challenging moment in your whole career?
The most challenging moment was definitely, I want to say that it was definitely like just, I think just kind of like getting to like I said, like I knew I wanted to keep playing, even after I got out of college. So it was definitely hard. Like I said, like just trying to stay in shape, like, be ready for anything, because I still had in mind that I wanted to play professional. So I guess that was the main thing with me. Like the hardest thing was always just trying to stay in shape and just remember that, at any moment, like opportunities can come knocking on my door, and I have to be ready, So I think, it's always a hard thing. And, obviously, like, I think, as you get older, there's distractions and stuff, so, just always trying to like keep like, you know that you have to like stay ready for whatever. So yeah, I think that was like definitely one of the hardest things, just kind of always just being clear about what I wanted to do.
I guess maybe one or two more. I don't know, Jorge, Luis, do you guys have any more that you want to ask? I see there are a couple more here in the Q&A maybe we can get to in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's go to Q&A.
This one's from Rasheen Gaffney. Well, how many hours a day do you train? I think you kind of answered that. Once again, by the way, we're actually going to put up the whole recording on YouTube, so be on the lookout for that. If she answered it earlier, don't worry, you can always go back and check that out. Who was your favorite player when you were little?
My favorite player, I would say like all-time favorite, definitely Ronaldinho. To me, I think he's the best player ever to exist.
What made him so special in your mind?
I think just everything about him. He's a playmaker. He was a goal scorer. He just knew how to shake off any player. He just made it look so easy, so just natural. And I think that's so hard to find now. So to me, I think he's generally the best player to ever exist.
He's definitely the man. Here's a question, and maybe I'll tie it with one of my own. You kind of touched on it. What's your biggest accomplishment in soccer? And I guess on my end, that's from Nora Donahue, and then maybe one from me is what you've accomplished so much already in your career. What's the next big thing?
So yeah, I think the biggest thing I accomplished, I think, is it has to be a tie between like, getting to play, like represent the national team, and also, playing professional. Like I said, it's always been a dream of mine ever since I was a little girl. It's always been there. It's always been something my family always wanted. So yeah, just being able to accomplish that. What's next? I would definitely like to see the opportunity of playing like in a different country. Definitely like, there's some like, chances that I could, go play in Spain, try that out. Like I said, soccer's so different in every country. And like, when I went to go play in Spain, like when I had to play against some teams over there, the soccer's it was just very different and beautiful. And just, I would definitely love to experience that, playing on another level, especially with the league that's been around for like, a lot more time.
Well, no, that's it for me. Thank you for answering all the questions.
Yeah.
The questions from our crowd here. Great turnout today. I don't know, Luis, if you have anything to add, or we can close.
No, Jazmin, a million thank yous. My girls appreciate it. I'm sure the club appreciates, and everyone that was listening definitely appreciates everything the time you spent with us. So big thank you to that.
Jazmin, one more thing. I know that you were saying that your dad was a goalie. Did you ever play goalie? Like when you were growing up? Did you ever jump in goal, put the gloves on?
I wish I could have. I think it's definitely a fun position. It has a lot of responsibility, but I'm kind of short. So it just and actually none of me, like neither I or like all my brothers turned out like to be goalkeepers. So yeah, definitely would have loved it, but yeah, I was a little short.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. And hopefully I'll see you soon in person.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. Definitely a pleasure. And, I hope to be, meeting you guys in person, the girls, everyone. And, when I'm always here, if any girls have any questions, any of your guys' players, feel free to, I think you guys have my Instagram. So, feel free to reach out. I definitely, would love to help in any way that I can.
Yeah, absolutely, everyone. If you don't know her Instagram, it's aguas.22, AGUAS 22. And if you have Twitter, her name on that is Aguas Jazzy, Jazzy. So, on behalf of all of us from the Glens, we really want to thank you, Jazmin, for your time, and we wish you all the best. Hopefully, we get you back on the field as soon as possible, and we can start watching you make more highlights.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we get, this whole thing going on. Hopefully it's over soon and we can all get back to playing the sport that we all love so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jazmin.
No, thank you guys.
Oh yeah, Jazmin, can we get an up the Glens? That's what we like to say over here, by the way.
How do you guys do it? Can I get an example?
Oh,
Up the Glens.
We just say up the Glens.
Up Glens? Like,
up the Glens. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Up the Glens.
That's
How was that?
That was great.
All right.
Thanks, Jazmin.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thank
You
you.
guys the best. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. I'll see you.
Yeah. No, that was great, right? I mean, I think she answered pretty much all the reasonable questions. And,
Yeah, that chat was going off. Are we still broadcasting or we're done?